Hey gang, this is TJ with PixarPost.com, and we're going to take a look at these Pixar Toy Box Disney Store exclusive characters of Mrs. Incredible with Jack Jack and Mr. Incredible with Jack Jack in Flames, which is really neat. So you can see from the box some of the other ones that come with this as well. So in addition, you can get Violet and Monster Jack Jack, Dash, Edna Mode, and Jack Jack as a metallic or a heavy metal one, which is fantastic because that's a 3-pack. So let's go ahead and take a look at these characters. If you remember, we did the unboxing of Buzz, Woody, and Jessie of these before, so we'll put a link in our description as well. But these are kind of based on the designs of the Disney Infinity characters, so they have a lot of posability, and let's go ahead and open these up and see what we find. Alright, so now that we've got them out of the package, let's take a little bit of a closer look. As far as Mr. Incredible, he has some great detailing on his face as far as how his hair is on there. And one of the key features of these is definitely, as I mentioned before, the points of articulation. So Mr. Incredible has 14 points of articulation. So he has his shoulder, which can go up and down like this, his elbow, which can do some slight inner and outer motion, and then his hand, which is actually kind of cool, that it can do some slight motion as well in there. So between his arms, that's 6 points. His head is 7 because it can turn left and right. And then his waist, 8. And then his hip, knee, and foot on both sides, so that'll get you to 14. So how his leg moves is like this. His knee can kind of click into place. You can see how that kind of clicks there. And then his foot can actually come forward and go back a little bit. So there's the different moves for Mr. Incredible, a really neat figure. One of the things that we had actually predicted, I'm going to set him down real quick, which was really cool in the last round of these, when this Pixar box line first came out, this poster card that's inside the package here showed some of the Star Wars figures, the Pixar ones, and then the Marvel toy box figures. But last time it only showed Buzz, Woody, and Jessie, and then it had an outline or a masking. What was funny is online, as we had kind of predicted, online on the Disney Store website, it had shown outlines of the physical Incredibles characters, so we guessed that's who it was going to be, but look who is coming soon. Frozone! So we absolutely can't wait for that. But let's go ahead and take a look at Jack Jack that came in here as well, because he is a really neat figure. If you notice, if you can see, he's kind of almost, there's an inner one in there, an inner Jack Jack in there, and then the flames are almost encased around him. And that's important to note because one of the things that the filmmakers said is that Jack Jack is not on fire. He is the source of the fire. So just keep that in mind, so that way it wasn't scary for audiences or for kids when they looked at him. And they wanted to make sure that that was just something that came across. So that's a neat figure right there. And then we've got Mrs. Incredible. And she has the same exact points of articulation, so I won't show all of them, as Mr. Incredible, between the 3 on the arms, 3 on the legs, both sides 6, and then torso and head getting to 14. But just really neat details, and she can get into some pretty fun poses. Her feet are pretty small, so she is tough to stand up, and I wish her knees actually had the locking like some of the other Toy Box characters or Mr. Incredible, just so that way she could kind of stand in a little bit crazier positions. But yeah, she's a lot of fun to play with. Going to look great on the shelf amongst the other Pixar Toy Box characters. And then Jack Jack himself. Let's go ahead and set this down. Jack Jack, you can't argue with an adorable little character like Jack Jack is. He's going to be such a fun, cool, and a large feature in the movie. But he is a ton of fun. So be sure to check these out at your local Disney store, and stay tuned to PixarPost.com all week for the latest Pixar news. Bye-bye.